She Who Roared for Mercy. Chapter 3. The Warning in Her Roar. Chicago ran. People poured out of buildings. Police officers directed traffic away from the lake. Families held onto one another as they searched for safer ground. Emergency vehicles moved through intersections with sirens screaming. Above them, military aircraft climbed higher into the sky. Nobody knew exactly what they were looking at. But everybody knew something enormous was coming. BJ remained near the shoreline. He looked upward. The enormous shadow continued moving through the clouds. Then the clouds separated. For a brief moment, Chicago saw it. Another creature. But this one was different. It was not simply enormous. It appeared to be built for one purpose: hunting. Its enormous body moved through the clouds with terrifying speed. Its eyes searched the city. Then they stopped. They focused on She Who Roared for Mercy. BJ immediately understood. It had found what it was looking for. Her. She Who Roared for Mercy stepped backward. The creature beneath Lake Michigan released a deep warning rumble. BJ looked at both of them. "You're afraid of this thing?" Neither creature answered. BJ listened. She Who Roared for Mercy finally spoke through her roar. "It has followed us for a very long time." BJ looked toward the creature in the lake. "And you?" A second roar answered. "It followed him too." BJ slowly nodded. "So you were both running from it?" She lowered her head. "Yes." BJ looked toward the sky. "Then why did you come to Chicago?" Her answer was almost painful. "Because I believed there would be people here who might listen." BJ became silent. She had not come to conquer Chicago. She had come looking for help. The military commander approached BJ. "What is that thing?" BJ looked at him. "I don't know." "Can you communicate with it?" BJ shook his head. "Not yet." The commander looked toward She Who Roared for Mercy. "Can she?" BJ turned. She was staring directly at the creature in the sky. "I think she knows it." The commander lowered his voice. "Then ask her what it wants." BJ looked upward. "I already know." "What?" BJ answered. "It wants her." The commander looked toward the enormous creature. "Then we need to stop it." BJ nodded. "Yes." The commander seemed relieved. Then BJ added, "But stopping it doesn't necessarily mean destroying it." The commander frowned. "We have seconds, not hours." BJ understood. This was no longer simply a conversation about mercy. People were in danger. He could not ignore that. He could not pretend that every creature could simply be reasoned with. Discernment required more than compassion. It required truth. And sometimes protecting innocent life meant standing against something dangerous. BJ looked toward She Who Roared for Mercy. "Can you stop it?" She answered. "Maybe." BJ asked, "Will you try?" She looked toward Chicago. Then she answered, "I will try to protect them." BJ nodded. "That's what I needed to hear. Thank you." The creature descended. The wind struck the city with tremendous force. Trees bent. Vehicles moved. Windows rattled. The creature opened its mouth. A deafening roar followed. She Who Roared for Mercy answered. The two sounds collided across Chicago. But BJ heard something different. The creature in the sky was not speaking to her. It was threatening her. BJ closed his eyes. He listened carefully. Then he opened them. It's not coming for Chicago. The commander looked at him. What? It's coming for her. The commander stared at the creature. Then what's stopping us from letting it take her somewhere away from the city? BJ looked toward she who roared for mercy. She immediately shook her head. No. BJ understood. Why? Her response was simple. If I leave, it will follow me. BJ looked toward Chicago. And people will still be in danger. She lowered her head. Yes. BJ realized what she was saying. She wasn't trying to save herself. She was trying to prevent the creature from following her into another city. She was willing to remain in Chicago because she believed she could keep the danger contained. BJ looked at her enormous face. You've been protecting people this entire time. She answered. I have been trying. BJ smiled faintly. Then we're going to keep trying, together. The creature attacked. She who roared for mercy moved quickly. The ground shook as she stepped between the attacking creature and the city. The impact sent a shockwave across the shoreline. BJ was thrown backward. He landed hard. For several seconds, he could not hear anything. Then the sounds returned. Sirens. People shouting. Helicopters. The roar of enormous creatures. BJ slowly pushed himself upright. He looked toward the battlefield. She who roared for mercy was struggling. The creature from the sky was stronger. She was being pushed backward. The military prepared to fire. BJ shouted. Don't. The commander yelled back. She's losing. I know. Then what do you suggest? BJ looked at the lake. The second creature was watching. It had not attacked. It was waiting. BJ suddenly understood. Ask him to help her. The commander stared at him. You're serious? Yes. Why would it? BJ looked toward the creature beneath Lake Michigan. Because she protected him. The commander hesitated. Then BJ turned toward the lake. He raised his voice. You owe her nothing. The enormous creature looked at him. But she protected you. The creature remained still. You don't have to fight because I tell you to. BJ paused. But if you believe she deserves to live, this is your decision. The creature looked toward she who roared for mercy. She was still fighting. Still refusing to retreat. Still protecting Chicago. The enormous creature slowly rose from the water. BJ stepped backward. Here we go. The creature charged. The impact was tremendous. The creature from Lake Michigan struck the airborne attacker from behind. Both enormous creatures crashed into the water. A massive wave rushed toward the shoreline. People screamed. She who roared for mercy turned toward the lake. BJ watched her expression change. She was surprised. The creature had chosen to help her. Not because it had been forced. Because it had finally understood her. BJ whispered. Sometimes mercy creates a bridge where fear has built a wall. He immediately realized the words sounded familiar. He thought about 1 Peter chapter 3 verse 11. Let him eschew evil, and do good, let him seek peace, and ensue it. BJ knew that this fictional world was teaching something real. Peace was not always passive. Sometimes peace required courage. Sometimes it required confrontation. Sometimes it required forgiveness. And sometimes it required giving someone the opportunity to choose differently. The creature from the sky emerged from the water. It was wounded, angry, but still alive. She who roared for mercy moved toward it. BJ stepped forward. Wait. She stopped. BJ looked at the creature. It stared back at him. For the first time, BJ attempted something he had never done before. He listened. Not to she who roared for mercy. Not to the creature from the lake. To the enemy. Imagine that. At first, there was only anger. Then confusion. Then something else. Pain. BJ's expression softened. He whispered, "You're not just hunting them." The creature stared at him. "You're afraid." It roared. BJ did not move. "I hear you." The creature became still. BJ continued, "You've been fighting because you believe that they're going to destroy you." She who roared for mercy looked at BJ. He turned toward her. "Is that true?" She answered, "No." BJ looked back at the creature. "She says she doesn't want to destroy you." The creature roared again. BJ listened. Then he whispered, "Then why don't you believe her?" Silence. For several seconds, the enormous creature simply stared at him. Then it lowered its head. BJ felt something change. Not victory. Not defeat. Understanding. It was the smallest beginning of peace. The military commander slowly lowered his weapon. BJ. BJ looked at him. "Yes, sir." The commander pointed toward the horizon. "There are more." BJ turned. Far beyond Lake Michigan, several enormous shadows appeared beneath the clouds. 1, 2, 3. Then more. She who roared for mercy became visibly frightened. BJ looked at her. "How many?" She answered, "Too many." BJ swallowed. "Are they all your enemies?" She shook her head. "No." "Then what are they?" Her answer chilled him. "They are afraid." BJ looked toward the approaching creatures. "And fear has brought them here." She lowered her head. "Yes." BJ looked toward Chicago. Then toward the creatures. Then toward the sky. He finally understood the real mission. This was never going to be about defeating monsters. It was going to be about breaking a cycle. Fear created suspicion. Suspicion created hatred. Hatred created violence. Violence created revenge. And revenge created more fear. BJ took a deep breath. He knew what he had to do. He turned toward the military commander. "Tell your people to stand down." The commander looked at him. "All of them?" BJ nodded. "Yes, sir, for now." The commander looked toward the approaching creatures. "That's a dangerous request." BJ answered. "So is war." Then he looked toward she who roared for mercy. "Let's see if mercy can speak louder than fear." She lowered her enormous head. And Chicago waited. Because for the first time in history, humanity was not preparing to attack the monsters. Humanity was preparing to listen.